What I got from it was that the Knicks, they're building a culture and identity. They're defending. Their offense has been absolutely terrific since, if you want to go back to like, what, mid-December, fourth in the league. A lot of that is because of Brunson, of course, Randall doing his thing. Remember, the Knicks are the fifth seed. Okay, actually, I think we're the sixth seed. We'll be the fifth seed after we beat the Celtics tonight, and the Nets have been struggling a little bit. So yeah, we'll be all right. You know, we're only a couple of games out of the fourth seed, but we're doing this all with RJ Barrett being extremely inconsistent this season. We're trying to figure out how to best utilize him. We've got heart and IQ. Not to mention that, you know, Mitchell Robinson's back and Isaiah Hartenstein he's been a little bit streaky, don't get me wrong. But him coming off the bench with those guys is definitely a big addition. Like, a lot of teams don't have a backup center like that at all. So that was a good pickup for sure. We also have Miles McBride, who is our best defender. We just have a lot of guys to throw at you. Evan Fournier, we know what he brings as a shooter. I'm not afraid of any team. I'm legitimately not. As a fan, obviously, I'm not taking the court, but I'm not afraid of anyone. It doesn't matter East or West. I know that the Knicks don't have a superstar, and it's going to be tough to be able to make a run at a championship. Obviously, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, but Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, there's not an ounce of fear in me. Obviously, I wouldn't want to play them. Like, I'd rather play the other teams, but if it comes to that, you know, the Knicks, they have the second most road wins in the league. Coach Thibodeau, say what you want about him, he's definitely one of our better coaches the past, you know, several that we've had. I like Mike Woodson a lot. You know, Coach Tibb, I don't love him, but he's certainly, it could be a lot worse. Like, you know, Coach Tibb's probably one of the best, at least in the East, I guess. And then on top of that, the Knicks have all their picks, right? They have tradable contracts. Like Evan Fournier, for example, they could easily put him into a package with younger players and picks to go get someone if they become available. Dame Lillard would be interesting. I know the deadline's passed and Dame's never leaving, but again, if somebody like that were to become available, like if Dame was on the Knicks right now, Dame, Brunson, I don't even care. Obviously, we'd have to get rid of RJ, but Dame, Brunson, and Randall, Mitchell Robinson manning the paint, we'd be talking about a championship. Let me know if I'm wrong. If Dame was on the Knicks right now, would we be talking about winning a championship? I think we would, at least. And that's the type of player we need. Like Shea, like there's so many guys that we'd love to have, but you know, you don't trade superstars. That's the issue. You don't trade players like that because they bring you a ton of money, they win you games, and you don't really replace them. So will the Knicks draft one? I don't know. I would have loved to see the Knicks trade up to get Jaden Ivey. I know a lot of people feel the same way, a lot of fans. It's probably going to come down to a disgruntled star asking out, though. Even more on that, asking out and wanting to go to the Knicks, because there's a lot of pressure in New York. All the media, all the fans, it's not easy. You know, you ask Aaron Judge. I know it's a different sport, but, you know, Aaron Judge was the second best player. I'm sorry, Yankee fans. Shohei, number one. Judge was the second best player in baseball, won MVP, and then was booed in the playoffs because he stunk. So it goes to show that you playing well, you're loved. You're playing poorly, not that you're hated, but you're going to hear about it, and you should. You know, fans have every right to boo their own players if they're not performing, especially when these guys want all this money. And you know, if Randall does what he does against Atlanta this postseason, he deserves to get booed. And you know, Jalen Brunson, I would hate to boo Jalen Brunson. I don't think Brunson would choke in the playoffs or not show up. It's just not in his nature. I mean, this is a guy he's won college championships, right, at Villanova. So with Josh Hart, the Knicks they're doing things the right way. Trading for Donovan Mitchell, it wouldn't have made any sense. He would have had to give up 4 or 5 first, RJ Barrett, and other young players like Obi, maybe even more. That's not who the Knicks are. I mean, the Knicks are the type of team to where they've got their core, right? They've got everyone I've just been naming this entire video in their picks. And now that's when you can, after, you know, you're the 5th seed, you're the 4th seed, you're doing well, that's when you can go and make that trade. We didn't know who the Knicks were going to be this season, right? Like going out and getting Mitchell for that price. I mean, who knows? Would the Knicks be better? I mean, I know like it's hard to be like the Knicks would be a worse team with not Mitchell on it. But at the end of the day, you know, this is who the Knicks are, and this is who the Knicks wanted to be, and you can't even complain about it. I mean, they've just been so good lately. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They've won, you know, 5 in a row. We're trying to win 6 against the Celtics. I mean, the Knicks are the type of team to where you're turning them on and you're watching. It's as simple as that. Like if you're a Knicks fan and you're not turning the games on, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out. It's as simple as that. And, you know, there's been games this season where I've not watched And not great to admit that because I covered the Knicks and I shouldn't. It's only been a couple, but it wasn't because the Knicks suck. It was just because sometimes watching every game is tough. We've all got lives and things to do, and I'm a YouTuber, so like I don't clock out of work. I'm basically always making content. Like I don't even the Knicks channel's for fun. Like I get paid for this, but like I don't do it for the money. I just do it because I'm a Knicks fan and stuff and love the team. But there's just a lot going on. But like right now, you can't miss a game. You can't. I mean, the Knicks haven't been this exciting in 10 years, bro. Like the Knicks, even the year they overachieved and made the playoffs and lost in the first round, like this is a good team. That team had, not that it wasn't good, I guess, but when you add in Jalen Brunson, I mean, it just changes everything. I mean, this is an all-star point guard that the Knicks got in free agency. They didn't even have to trade for him. Like, imagine if Jalen Brunson got traded, like what he would go for. Like he at minimum, right? DeJounte Murray type of trade, or is it? Yeah, DeJounte Murray. If OG is going for that and Murray, I'd say Brunson's better than both of them. So yeah, having that player on the Knicks is good. Randall. It's gonna come down to RJ. Like I believe in the bench and the defense and things like that. It's just gonna come down to RJ. I mean, I don't want to ask him to be like an all-star, but can he knock down shots and stay aggressive and just lock in? I mean, I made a video a couple of days ago basically saying RJ Barrett sucks. But in the video, I mentioned that like he's only 22. He can turn this around. I like RJ honestly coming off the bench. I feel like I'm in the minority on that though. Most Knicks fans don't want him coming off the bench, which I get. Try to get his confidence going. But running RJ with a second unit, it just makes sense to me. And that way we can insert Josh Hart to the starting lineup. I made it quickly. I like coming off the bench. I don't starting IQ, like closing with IQ and Brunson makes sense. Starting, probably not. IQ is, a third best defender according to Raptor. But I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point. If you're going to gain anything from this video, the Knicks they're heading in the right direction. They're doing it on both sides. The past like 2 months, 2.5 months, top 10 defense, top 5 offense. And if that continues, if the Knicks get to another tier and Brunson starts to heat up, we could be talking about coming out of the East. And I'll say it again, man. Boston, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Brooklyn. I don't care. I'm not afraid of any of those teams. As a fan of the Knicks, again, I'm not taking the court, but I'm not a fan of playing those teams because the Knicks have the second most road wins in the league. Again, they've got a great combination of both sides of the court. Coach Tibb has been doing well lately, going to that shorter rotation. Knicks Daily, man. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So I just made a 20-minute video reacting to this ESPN segment about the Knicks, and I forgot that I didn't, I had to put the audio into the clip so you guys couldn't even hear it. So we have to redo it, but it's all good, man. I'm just going to save you guys the trouble from listening